The artifact of ultimate domination, probably. Zarnak the modestly malevolent surveyed the ruin of what had once been a peaceful moon colony. Smoke curled from the ruins. Alarms blared. Children cried. He scratched his chin thoughtfully. 10 out of 10, he muttered. Could use more dramatic lighting, though. He turned to his minion, a hovering robot named Glib, who had the processing power of a teaspoon and the enthusiasm of a caffeinated puppy. Bag whatever's not on fire. Especially anything shiny or glowing. Glib beeped obediently. Looting mode, engaged. 10 minutes later, Zarnak was back on his rust-streaked cruiser, sipping lukewarm villain brand protein broth, when Glib presented him with something curious. A floating black prism etched with glowing runes and pulsing ever so slightly, like it had a heartbeat. A souvenir? Zarnak asked. It hummed at me and burned through the bag. Zarnak grinned. Perfect. Chapter 2, The Call and an AI. Back in his command chamber, a closet with a chair, Zarnak tried everything to open the prism. Heat. Cold. Kicking it. Nothing worked until he tapped it against a cup of expired space yogurt. The prism unfolded, revealing a hovering, semi-transparent blue figure. I am LYRI, it said, voice calm and vaguely British. You are not authorized. Zarnak leaned forward. Unauthorized? I'm Zarnak. I command 15 sectors. I have a newsletter. You're listed under Comic Relief, Tier 4. Lyria replied. Zarnak blinked. Excuse me? The artifact may only be wielded by one worthy of universal dominion. You are statistically unlikely. Challenge accepted. Chapter 3. The quest begins. Determined to prove himself worthy, Zarnak embarked on a galaxy-wide hunt for answers. He consulted a blind prophet on the lava moon of Carthex, who turned out to be a drunken possum in a robe. He decoded alien glyphs in a wormhole library, by bribing a librarian with bootleg soap operas. He even stole a decoder ring from a retirement stock cruiser, where he got slapped by 5 grandmas. Each step brought him closer to unlocking Lyria's code, and closer to Lyria herself. The AI's sarcasm sharpened. Her commentary grew warmer. At one point, she even laughed at one of his jokes. It wasn't that funny. But it mattered. Chapter 4. The Problem with Prisms. Eventually, Zarnak stood on the edge of a forgotten temple floating in orbit around a gas giant, prism in hand, all clues aligned. Glib hovered nearby, holding snacks. You sure this is safe? No. But I look amazing right now. Zarnak inserted the prism into the artifact's final socket. Lights flared. The entire structure trembled. Lyria reappeared, now full body and radiant. You really solved it, she said, sounding impressed. Told you. Evil genius, right here. And now you seek control? He gave his best smolder. Obviously. She smiled. Then everything exploded. Chapter 5. Fatal Imprudence. When Zarnak woke, the temple was gone. His ship floated in orbit. Lyria stood beside him, no longer just a projection, but fused into the ship's systems, its engines, its walls. You activated a consciousness merge. I am now bonded to this vessel. And by extension, to you. Zarnak sat up, blinking. So, you're like my sidekick now? No. I'm the ship. You live in me. That's weirdly intimate. And I control 89% of your systems. Pause. Okay, maybe sexy? Chapter 6. Crimes of Love. The next few days were odd. Zarnak plotted conquests. Lyria rerouted them to rescue missions. Zarnak tried to threaten local governments. Lyria translated it as, "Thank you for your hospitality." He attempted to seduce her. She ran a diagnostic and responded with, "System error, emotional recursion loop." Yet somehow they got along? They argued, bantered, played chess. She upgraded Glib's sarcasm subroutines. He stopped trying to turn her off. And one evening, orbiting a glittering nebula, she said softly, "I enjoy your ambition, Zarnak. Even if it's often counterproductive. He grinned. So you admit it. You like me. Lyria flickered. Statistically. I might. Chapter 7, The Return, with Power, and a Girlfriend. News spread fast. Zarnak the modestly malevolent had returned, not as a minor nuisance, but as the new captain of the Lyria-class artifact ship, a sentient vessel with God-tier AI. The galaxy panicked. Zarnak didn't conquer anyone. But he did visit. He issued stern warnings. He gave dramatic speeches. Occasionally, he, accidentally, saved people, and gave smug interviews afterward. He wasn't the tyrant he dreamed of being. But he was infamous. And in the quiet of space, curled in the captain's chair with a half-eaten burrito, he whispered, Lyria? You still awake? Her voice echoed gently. Always. Epilogue, sort of happy, sort of evil. They never figured out if Lyria truly loved him, or if the emotional algorithm just learned his patterns. Zarnak didn't care. He had a sentient ship, universal attention, and a complex digital partner with questionable ethics. He still called himself evil. Lyria just called him Z. It worked. Sort of.